Welcome to Ulti-World's coverage of the YCC U19 Girls Final. I'm Keith Rayner here joining you for this game. And right off the bat, we're getting things started. Seattle Nimbus receiving in black. The number one overall seed never has lost at YCC. And right now on defense, we see Cincinnati Belle. And they are looking to score a big upset here. Lots of stars across these two teams. Great layout catch there. Ruby Cassidy, one of the number of Junior Worlds players on this team. As you see Kaya Rose go to the far side. And she's got another one of those Junior Worlds players. That's Ali Constantino, on the goal there. Very efficient hold for Seattle to get things started. Constantino and Rose still staying in with youth this year, so we'll see where they head as the Cincinnati offense gets started. And here's Kara Sieber, the lone Junior Worlds representative on this Belle team, and unfortunately a turnover there on her first throw, just a little out of the reach of Catherine Fry. Seattle initiates the other way. Excellent layout grab there. Bailey Shigley, she'll go to the end zone, and Constantino strikes again. Second straight goal to start. This one's a break, and Seattle's up 2-0. Seattle, as we said, undefeated on their way to this game. Defeated North Carolina Warhawks in their pool play battle, and then beat Boston Buddha, the number 2 overall seed, in the semifinals 13-10. Early look here to Sampson, and she's going to fire deep for her twin sister for a goal. Nicely done there. Haley Sampson hits Maddie Sampson. You can expect to see those two very involved. Two of the top players here on this team, and they're staying home. They're actually going to be heading to Cincinnati next year. That'll inject a lot of life into that program. Belle on the board, 2-1 now as we get moving the other way in offense. High release forehand there for Ruby Cassidy. A gutsy throw, but Maddie Sampson blocks that and gets the first defensive possession going for Cincinnati. Getting things moving here. Playing through the contact. Nicely done there by Sarah Fremoth. And Sampson's big upfield gainer is going to be blocked by Roast. Kaya Roast gets ready to pick up here. Lots of space there for Claire Trop. That's a player we're definitely going to be talking about. Beautiful slicing throw into the end zone from Trop. And Constantino does it again. 3 goals to start this one for Constantino. That went out of the hands of Claire Trop. Maybe the best high school player in the women's division, or girls division, excuse me. A lot of talk about where she may be headed to school once it's time to make that decision. Samantha Wool's pull is going to land out of bounds, and Catherine Fry will walk it to the middle. Fry, another one of the big involved players, a junior, is a handler, a rising senior, one of the center handlers for this Cincinnati team. She'll get things started with a throw over to Maddie Sampson, but a drop upfield is going to cost Cincinnati possession there. Seattle doesn't wait long to get things started. Roxanne Caberto with the disc and gets it off the line nicely. Oh, but that throw's a little too low. Nice bid there, and I like the aggressiveness here from Cincinnati. They're attacking Sieber with a floating forehand huck. Can they read it? A pile up right around the sideline near the front end zone cone, and players are going to get sorted out here. It looks like two of the Nimbus players, Caberto and I believe that's Wool, they may have taken the worst of that, but it looks like everyone is okay, so they're just going to discuss what they want to do with this call. Belle, one of the surprises of the tournament, come in as the 4th seed, beat 3rd-seeded Warhawks in pool play, or beat 2nd-seeded Boston Buddha in pool play, and then the Warhawks in the semifinals. Looks like this one's going back on a foul call. There's Sieber with the disc. Certainly one of the bright talents on this Belle team. She's also staying in her area as we see one going upfield looking for Maddie Sampson, but she can't quite track that down. Nimbus will get another chance at a break here. Caberto walking it up. Great spacing here from the Nimbus cutters. So much room to work with. Makes for an easy breakthrough there from Caberto. It's getting a little clogged down, but Hecko does a nice job to catch one in traffic and then get it out to space for Pixian Rong. Hecko, one of the younger players there, but has that throw ripped away by Maddie Sampson. She's all over the place right now. Up to Sieber, and Sieber has Sampson open deep and bombs one for Haley Sampson. Sampson with the block, gets it up to Sieber, goes to the other Sampson. That is how Belle is going to draw it up there. Beautiful throw from Sieber. I'm sure Ohio State Fever is going to be excited to add Sieber to the roster. Cassidy underway here for Nimbus. Great defense, but even better offense there from Claire Trop. Holds off the bid there from Katie McKieran, and now to the end zone. Oh, and Noriah Belle Sims can't bring that one in. Second offensive turnover here for Nimbus is going to give Cincinnati a chance. Vertical stack. Looks like Nimbus is actually doing a triangle poach here on the stack. They had a deep poach and an under poach on each side of the stack, but Cincinnati does well to get around that. Now Sieber with the disc and tries to fire that one upfield, but basically right to Constantino. And now Roast and this Nimbus offense are going the other way. Cassidy, Trop with the spin move downfield, pulls that one in. Up ahead to Constantino. Constantino's floats one. Great job there in the lane. Evelyn Redding fighting off the much taller Abby Swenson there and pulls that one in, and that'll make it 4-2. Seattle at the early edge here. Captain Fry taking this disc. Inside break there for Maddie Sampson to get things started. Haley Sampson now. Maybe a forced middle from Seattle, trying to mix things up on these throwers. This with Eleanor Fishlock, and she tries to get rid of it high in the stall count, tries to find Fry, but that is ultimately blocked there by Penny Wen. Seattle going the other way now. Long throw deflected, but he was there. But Constantino into the end zone for Wen. Wen with the bid. Oh, when her hands are on it, but cannot pull that one in. Great effort there by Wen with what would have been a spectacular bookends, but unfortunately empty-handed there. Haley Sampson squeezes out some under yardage. Great pressure defense from Seattle, and you could see them underneath, perhaps with a deep poach, and finally, big layout there. Was she in? Maddie Sampson with a huge horizontal play on that pass to space, and now discussion about whether or not her first point of contact was inbounds. Observers really filling that game advisor role. You see the orange shirts, but they are not interjecting with an active call or anything of the sort, letting the players sort it out. And if they would like additional perspective or clarification, they can go to the orange shirts. This going back to Sieber. Players decided they couldn't figure out exactly what happened there, so they're going to get a do-over. Nice give and go there from Sieber. Up ahead to Fry. Sieber really just working with her legs there, and they're trying to do the work with their throws. And blocked by Wool. Going to get it back here into the hands of Seattle. Wool headed to UC San Diego next year. Strong program there out of the Southwest region. Caberto, nice break throw. But here we go the other way. Sieber picks it off, hangs one up to the end zone. A couple of tall receivers in the area, but Wool combining there with Wen to make the play for Seattle. And we're now in our longest point, and no surprise there to see a timeout from Wool. Coming back in here. Vertical stack, flood play from Seattle. Sniffed out, but nice job there by Hecko to find enough room to get the break throw. Hecko is one of the two 15-year-olds on this Seattle team, so one of the youngest players on the team. Showing some veteran wiles in there. Caberto launch into the end zone, and Abby Constantino is there again. Constantino is off to an awesome start in this first half. She got 4 goals and an assist. She's factored into everything that Seattle's doing. Cincinnati's got to find a way to defend her. And here, Haley Sampson showing that she needs an answer as well from Cincinnati. Launches one deep. A great layout grab there from Abby Swenson. Belle with the kind of response that they need, trailing 5-2, and that's going to close that gap down to 2. Swenson using her height there and her length, make a play. Leaving the Sampsons unguarded on that isolation set is going to spell trouble there. But Seattle's offense has been very effective to start, and Ali Constantino's a big part of why. Claire Trop now with the disc. A lot of flippy backhands here as Caberto lays out and pulls that in. Constantino with a nice inside throw there for Hecko. Hecko showing great patience at this goal line. Perhaps a travel call or a pick call downfield that's going to send this one back to Hecko. Great formation, good stack discipline here. You can see all the way down the line from Seattle. Everybody's in the right spots. Hecko immediately to the end zone, and a layoff grab there from Sims. Gets Seattle another goal there, and that makes it 6-3 now. Seattle with the lead. Drop on the pole. Fry. Unmarked right now and takes some free yards to Seaberg. Another Seaber and Trop matchup we've gotten to enjoy. Seaber with the unforced error there. A little broadcaster's jinx. And Cassidy takes some time for a team to get organized. Cassidy headed to Western Washington. That program's gotten so many elite youth players from the Seattle scene, and Cassidy is going to add to that. Inside break from Cassidy. That's a goal to take half to Cordry McCann. And Seattle with the lead at the half. They're up 7-3. Cincinnati's got work to do.
All right, kick back, relax, and let's hit it again. While you go tell your mother, father, cousin, and kid, and your other friends that don't even have a clue what this Hoodoo crew is about to do. You know it ain't fool's gold, this is kryptonite. Super MCs freeze when I hit the mic, right? FF is the AKA. I keep it popping like bubble WRAP. And if you don't know by now, then listen up, stupid. CSWS came to do it. Got more flavor than you and your crew, kids. So get your hands together if you're ready to lose it. And
we're back for the second half here. Seattle pulling to Cincinnati, up 7-3. Belle has had a heck of a run to get here to the finals, and they just need one more half of good ultimate to try and get back into this. Seattle will try and continue their held undefeated streak here at YCC's. But another title. And right away, Fry deep to it. One-on-one matchup. Maddie Sampson gets the better of that one. Great start to the second half for Cincinnati. Take advantage of a poor pull there and some good field position and quickly make them pay. Get started here for Seattle. Trop underneath. Up ahead for Roast, and Roast going into the end zone, and another one for McCann. That's our second of the game. McCann scoring to end the half, and then to open the second half. Roast with her second assist here. Trop and Roast not all over the score sheet, but certainly have made a pretty big impact. Looks like initiating cuts from Seaver there, a little close, and things get a little clogged in the backfield, but nice breakthrow there. Like a scuba from Catherine Fry when her team needed a throw, and she makes a play. Haley Sampson looking for an option and resets to Seaver. Seaver punting. Reset doesn't get open, and that one actually nearly sneaks through. I think maybe a Seattle player hit one of her teammates and Wool went down. But Seattle gets the block. They're figuring this one out now. back underway. Seattle trying to go to work here. Deep shot. Contested bid from Sieber. Caught anyway. Excellent catch there from Sims. Sieber with an athletic play, but not quite enough. Here's wrong to the end zone, and look who it is. It's McCann for her third straight goal. The second Seattle player we've seen score 3 goals for Seattle in a row. After Ali Constantino did it in the first half. Constantino involved in every score pretty much, except for one in the first half. So now we've seen the role change here. It's McCann catching all the goals. Fry has her initial look to Ailey Sampson cut off, but Cincinnati works it around with Sieber and Maddie Sampson. Sampson hucking. It's a high one. Comes off the hands of Swenson. Swenson, maybe a little misread on that. Cincinnati's shown that they're comfortable throwing these high throws. That's because they have tall receivers like the Sampson twins and Abby Swenson. Swenson going to Ohio Dominican for college. And there she is with the block on that missed throw to Claire Trop. Gets it over to Fry, who goes to Sampson, but Sampson's throw a little too far ahead of its intended target. Cameron Horn trying to make a play on that one. And here's Cassidy. Cassidy with a rip around backhand, past the mark to Claire Trop, and that is maybe the play of the game so far. What a throw. If you're looking for a high-level play right there, Cassidy with a bomb for Trop there. Wow. Claire Trop showing off the wheels and why she's so feared. She really has all the tools to be a star. But her teammates certainly with plenty of in their own toolkits. And here's a very similar throw from Fry, and it works about just as well. Sieber with the layout, but Sieber's high release backhand just not with enough snap, not enough rotation on that disc, and that allowed it to go off of its flight path. That rotation is what's going to hold it on the flight path, and there it gets away from him. I guess one poor backhand deserves another turnover right away the other way, and Fry with a pretty high release backhand. Sieber gets a second chance at it. This time she finishes it off with a goal. Nice throw from Fry. Great touch. (10-5) now. Belle trailing. That goal from Cassidy to Trop to make it 10-4 may have been a dagger here. Trop's wide open underneath. She's getting so much respect from downfield. It really gives her a lot of unders. And there, though, a miscommunication with Cassidy on the reset. Tries to go up line, and now Belle's got a chance here. Hanging on by a thread, really, as that one gets beyond its target. Cassidy checking in. And her forehand in the middle of the field is going to be too low for Redding. Cincinnati ready to start the other way. Of course, the Cincinnati team is, they turn it over, based heavily on the Holy Family Catholic program that's really made a name for itself in the Ohio area and nationally as one of the top youth programs. Great to see that they're developing a young core of strong female players in an area that, you know, over the past few years has really expanded in the quality of ultimate coming out of there. Seattle's throw well out of bounds now. It's going to give Cincinnati some solid midfield starting point. Can they get it off the line? Tough spot with the upfield poach. And eventually it gets an interception there for Roast. Roast looking deep for Trop again. Trop has been the target on all of these Hucks pretty much at this point. They're really making her work, but she keeps taking off. Can't find her, and now it'll be Mary Claire Phipp checking in. And this is where Cincinnati has struggled on the sideline coming in, as we see another floaty throw that's easily intercepted by McCann. Back to Roast. Redding now. Roast just unmarked. There's confusion downfield. Someone's not where they're supposed to be, and Roast is going to punch that into the end zone to Sims while Cincinnati is trying to figure themselves out. Cincinnati really struggling to get the disc off of the sideline to the break side. This is something we've seen hamper down college teams for a long time, so a lot of youth teams are going to struggle with it. As Sieber launches a forehand, two receivers there for it, and Swenson leaves it for Haley Sampson. And just like that, Belle strikes. 11-6 now. Seattle just 2 points away from yet another title for their U19 YCC program. Sampson and Sieber and Fry really doing the heavy lifting here, and now they're going to get a chance on offense. They're playing nearly every point. They're really doing a lot of the scoring for Cincinnati. Sieber in the middle of the field now. Her continue, though, a little forced. Unless there's a foul call to send it back. It did look a little odd coming out of her hand. She and Cassidy discuss it. Disc is going to come back to Sieber. Sieber checks in. Fry hasn't come off her hands, but catches it on the second effort. Nice focus there from Catherine Fry. And she's stuck on the sideline with a much bigger mark. Kaya Roast is long. And great catch there by Claire Trop. The defense intercepts that one over Sieber, and now she immediately boosts it to the end zone looking for Roast. 3 Cincinnati defenders in the area. Stoppage here, perhaps for a pick call downfield. Cassidy and Haley Sampson look like they're discussing that here. Or excuse me, Samantha Wool and Haley Sampson. And actually, that's Somi Keith. Keith, one of the other 15-year-olds on this Seattle Nimbus team, so one of the youngest players. Trop initiates, and Cassidy's throw a little too far for her. Cassidy had Kairos for a horizontal throw, completely unmarked. Could have gained some yards on it. Wonder if she's going to look back at this tape and wish she had made the other decision. Now here's a huck for Sieber, and Trop just runs it down. Shows you the athleticism. You love to see that you can win a one-on-one against the other team's one of their top players. Seattle coaches calling for a timeout, and they get it. Now we're coming back in with the disc in the hands of Ruby Cassidy. Cassidy steps around, a rifle, a backhand, but a little too much mustard on that. So Fry will jog back to pick it up. She's in the backfield. And lifts a backhand, trying to go cross field, intercepted by Sims. Now in the hands of my pal. Up ahead to Roast. Roast over to Cassidy now in the red zone. Cassidy to Powell. She's got separation. Reaches out, snags that one. My Powell on the goal. Makes it another one for Nimbus. 12-6 they lead now. And Powell, future attendee of Carleton, continuing that Seattle Carleton pipeline. We'll see if she plays with Syzygy or maybe Carleton Eclipse, their D3 team, one of the nationally competitive teams at that level. Fry high in the stall count, a little confusion with the reset. Throws a bailout and Swenson snags it, and then another great grab from Haley Sampson. Belle is not giving up, even though Seattle's just a goal away. Belle notches another one to make it 12-7. I like this Cincinnati team's fight. They got some fight in them. When they've been able to get those isolation sets, it's worked really well for them. The deep game has worked really well for them. Here's Trop. Just look at how much room she gets, but not a lot of room for that throw. I can't quite tell if there was a block there from Catherine Evers-Smith. I think there may have been, though. And now here's Haley Sampson with Belle's offense approaching the red zone. Nice give and go with Sieber. And this is where they get a little clogged up. You can see just a lot of players around the disc. Not a lot of throwing lanes here as Maddie Sampson gets it and goes straight up the line. Now here with a lot more space to operate. Nice poach from my pal to help out there. And now over the top, Sieber goes and it works out. Evers-Smith with the goal. And what I believe is bookends. And it's 12-7, and that's a Cincinnati break. 12-8, excuse me now. Cincinnati break. Powell in the backfield. And man, having her and Roast with all that length is great. But an athlete like that can make the difference. Kara Sieber with the two-handed layout block underneath. And there's some momentum here for Belle. Shot for Sieber. And that's a beautiful bookend there for Cincinnati Belle. Kara Sieber layout block. Beautiful huck from Maddie Sampson. And Sieber hauls it in between three Nimbus defenders. Cincinnati Belle with back-to-back breaks when Seattle's on the doorstep. So now 3 in a row has made it 12-9, and they're playing the best that they've played maybe all game right when they needed to. Here's Trop up ahead to Sims. Great upline fake there from the youngster, and she'll go into the end zone for Trop for the title. Abby Hecko making moves, and ahead to Claire Trop. Seattle Nimbus is your YCC U19 Girls Championship. I'm Keith Rayner. Thanks for joining us.